Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel.
Many people believe that AI is the end of the world and that technology will eventually take over humanity, as it is already taking over the workplace and human characters and subconsciousness. You can never tell anymore what's real, what isn't, especially with the new technology of VO3, I believe it's called, where you can do really realistic videos of all types of animals, entities, deities, and just have them having some sort of weird ass vlog. I've been seeing a lot of people freak out about it, and in this video I should be giving some comfort to these people and realize that AI is indeed not evil. We're just cringy as fuck. I'm going to demonstrate to you something you may find interesting, which is a way of questioning yourself in order to attain answers that you're really seeking. The complaint here, in this case, is that AI is taking our jobs away. Well, it's one of the complaints. We're going to tackle this one first. So if you think about it intrinsically, the fear is the fear of losing our job. But what is our job providing for us? Two things. One, survival, meaning money, and two, pride, status, right? A title that sets you aside from others, a feeling of importance. Of course, this isn't as important as survival, but once the survival is secured, this is something that people seek. This is fulfillment in some sense, but individual desire apart. The whole point of the workplace is to progress as a collective society, because otherwise we wouldn't work in a society. We'd be nomads or just shepherds out in the mountain doing our own thing, farming. But we work together as a society to have a whole system that works well and to go forward, because otherwise we can't just all be farmers and then one person be a scientist, because somebody would have to sponsor him, but no one's going to go out of their way to sponsor them. So we come together and we have services, whatever. It's a whole thing in order to progress forward in technology and humanity. And the thing that is unfortunate about this whole AI thing is that things that you could do in hours or days that would take you that long, now you can do in simple seconds. A very anecdote time. A very simple example is that I was working in this project with some partners, and we're going to design an application like Uber but for a different service. Blah blah blah. This is back before ChatGPT, and I was learning how to program. My role in the group was to program from zero, from scratch. I started to learn tutorials and other like, and I learned a bit of basic programming. But oh my goodness, I spent hours and hours in front of the screen looking at zeros, looking at ones, looking at zeros, and looking at ones. Not really, it's not actually like that in coding, but looking at errors, true, false, all of these errors. You type something in, there's one error, you type something else in to fix it, there's 200 errors. So, very frustrating. And now ChatGPT came out a while ago now, and in 1 second you put a prompt in and then it gives you a clear layout and then you can build on that. It's honestly kind of fucking ridiculous. And it definitely leaves a sour taste in my mouth to think that I've inverted so much time into something that could be done so easily now. I wouldn't even be needed in this project if it was today, like they would just do it themselves with ChatGPT. But ask yourself, did you even enjoy spending hours and hours doing something like that? It is true that AI also replaces things like art, but you can still do that, you can still have humane art or whatever. But for things like coding, which honestly, I think 80% of people that do coding don't enjoy it. Is it bad that we have this replaced so that we may focus on things that are more meaningful to us? Every action has a reaction. Is there more for us to do now that AI has come out? Yes, we can keep evolving. This is kind of the crucial part of the video. You have probably realized that a lot more people than ever before are talking about fulfillment, about purpose, about being lost or about finding your way. Is it a coincidence that is happening in this age? Are people waking up? Perhaps yes, perhaps not. But what will be the cause of that? It will be the cause that they don't have to do mundane activities. Unlike before, when they used to occupy themselves with a lot of activities in order to survive and in order to have a good situation. Now they can shift all of that attention instead into their own private life and interests. That's not a bad thing. Wouldn't it be great to live in a world where we didn't have to work? For stoic reasons, it will be a problem because human greed and whatever, but that aside, that would be ideal. A world where no one has to suffer, no one has to be hungry, and we can all kind of enjoy this as if it was some sort of paradise. Yes, it is ideals, but we're not going to talk about the philosophy and the negativity of the human mankind. But what I'm trying to say in this segment is that since we no longer have, all of us at least, a bunch of us are in a privileged situation, we no longer have a need to work for survival. We can shift our attention into the fulfillment part, into the purpose part. We can shift it into art, into art and into entertainment. Well, art is entertainment, but entertainment and pleasure overall. I mean, mark my words, it's already been happening, but it's going to continue to happen. There's going to be more comedians, there's going to be more creators overall. There already is a huge flux coming in. More of everything that's in the entertainment industry. Even pornography, I think there's probably much more pornography than ever before. Or at least it feels that way, because I know at least 4 girls that have started doing OnlyFans, which is kind of crazy. I think it's a good point in the video to address the elephant in the room. I'm not doing a blackface, this is just a face mask. But if you fear AI, if you fear that it is taking away your job, your work, and it is going to take over humanity, if you have this type of thought, you are probably displeased with humanity in the first place. All the wars, like the injustice in Palestine, for example, and other things, you probably are not happy with humanity overall. So you're like, yeah, fuck it. I mean, at least me personally, I wouldn't mind if robots took over. If it was a specific group of people, then no, I wouldn't like it. But if it was robots, yeah, sure, man. Whatever, like kill all of us, I don't really mind. Although that comes across a little bit extreme, so maybe not. But don't let AI freak you out. This is a great opportunity. Ultimately, AI is not evil. It is simply a great tool that is allowing us to advance further in the hierarchy of needs. If you're familiar with Maslow at all, a famous psychologist, we have a few things that we have to go through before we attain kind of the enlightenment that we've all heard of, right? The self-actualization. First, we must have physiological needs kind of like met. Next, we have to be secure, right? We don't have to be suffering from like lack of shelter, suffering from illness, right? Suffering from imminent danger. Next, we have to have, like, for example, a tiger like coming into you, right? So we have all of that achieved already with society and the systems society has. After that, ironically, is society, so community, a sense of community, sense of belonging. We have that. We are all part of a country, and even deeper than that, part of a group within the country, part of an ideology, and it keeps narrowing and narrowing down. Part of the city, part of this, part of that. You have groups everywhere you go, if not in person, online. But even offline, you are part of your country, so that's at least something. After that comes self-esteem. Self-esteem is when people start to value themselves more and all of that stuff. A lot of people in today's age are already self-esteem. Self-esteem is, you know, to have something that makes you stand out in society. It could be your career. You are an engineer, a doctor, right? You have titles that make you stand out, that make you valuable and praiseworthy or admirable to your group, that allow for you a special treatment. Not necessarily like, oh, you're the best, but like, oh, we have a problem with this machine. We need the help of, I don't know, Tom, right? Because you can help, you're an engineer, right? Or Lazarus, because, I don't know, but I don't know what I do. And since we've got all of these things, if you believe in the hierarchy of needs, which I do, we have one more thing to kind of think about. And that is self-actualization. What is the meaning of life? What is our purpose? What do we want to achieve? Deep down, what is our goal? Your goal? What is it that you want to do? Thanks to AI, you can now shift your mentality that it's evil, it's gonna take over humanity. Don't fear. If you fear, you will not be able to think about the other things. Do not fear. Realize that it is here, and it is a tool that will allow for us to focus on our purpose, on the thing that we wish to achieve. And if it's something like, I want to be an artist, right, and draw things, because artist is actually a little broader. I want to draw things, right, and sell my art, okay? AI can't paint in a canvas, right? There's no robots that go beep, 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 beep. They can print it, but they can print an image. That's about it, right? It's not a fresh painting. Still many ways to go around it. You can't let things like that excuse you in your life if it's what you really want to do. If it is simply convenient and something that you enjoy, then that is not the right answer. You need to find something that is truly for you, because it exists and it will allow for you the happiest of life. You now have the chance and opportunity to choose a life of fulfillment rather than one in which you are depressed. In this life of fulfillment, you no longer have to choose a secure life that makes you, which has to make you think about money and you just stay safe, but you are depressed. Because what is the meaning of a life full of sorrow? You can now choose not a secure life, because what's the point of living safe anyway, but live a life with courage, focusing on the things that you truly wish to do. Because we no longer really have a need for mundane activities, working away hours, typing something, whatever. It is good practice and techniques overall for your cognitive ability to work from time to time on high intensity or focused tasks, but overall be smart with your time, because it's the most valuable thing that you could ever possess, and you possess it right now. Maybe eventually you'll be a millionaire and stuff, but right now you have your time, which is worth more than millions. Anyway, that's about it for the video. Strive to be 1% better every day, and have a beautiful day, people.